Anthony Hartwig here with a South Range softball player profile. I am joined by Maddie Dado. Maddie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You got it. Last year when we talked to you, Maddie, the theme of the interview was kind of being the transition from year one to year two and what it was like to have that year one under your belt and be able to use it as experience. Now, here you are as a junior. You're one of the upperclassmen. You're one of the older leaders. You're a vet. What's it been like transitioning into this year and taking more leadership under your belt?
I definitely think it's easier this year because I know those seniors better and I'm more comfortable in the outfield and hitting, and I know the coaches better as well.
Last year, you really hit extremely well. You finished second on the team in average. Most of the season, you led the team in average. What was it like coming into this year, trying to, I don't want to say one up your performances, but trying to build off that expectations of doing what you were able to do last year?
I definitely struggled at the beginning of the year, and I started off at second, and I did end up getting moved down to six, but that's just what works better in the lineup. And I think it was just what the coaches wanted, and I think I'm doing just as good as last year.
What do you think contributed to the early season struggles and then obviously the turnaround? It seems like it happened right in Myrtle Beach where you started to make things click with the bat.
Yeah, I think that like I knew, um, yeah, I think that I knew I had like a lot of pressure on me to do as good as last year. So I think I got in my head a little bit. And then once we went down to Myrtle, I just realized that I just had to play my game.
When you were moved down to the lineup, what did that do for you mentally? Did it take the pressure off of you to not have to be where you were last year when you were the leadoff hitter the whole season?
Yes, I do. At first, I was a little bit upset because I thought it was because I wasn't doing good, but then I just realized that like it's what was better for the team.
All right, we talked at the top about the leadership capabilities that you've been able to have this year. What kind of leadership responsibilities have you taken on yourself this year to help a lot of these younger players on the roster?
Well, we do have two freshmen starting right now, and I think at the beginning of the year they were very nervous, and just like telling them like it's okay to make mistakes. And then also in the outfield, I'm in center field, so I know I have to like take the leadership out there.
I mean, you have all the experience in the world to tell those freshmen what it was like. You stepped on that varsity level as a freshman, went all the way to the state championship game as a freshman. What kind of things have you shared with them about that experience on your end and what you went through your freshman year to help them along?
I think that we constantly talk to them about like how fun getting there was, and just to try to like make them want to get back there this year because we definitely have a chance this year. So we just try to share all the memories and experiences we have there to get them excited for it.
You are experienced in tournament time, and last year you fell just short to a team that ended up going to the state championship game. How hungry is this team to get back to regionals and take that next step and get yourself back to Firestone?
No, we are definitely very hungry, especially because we fell short last year, and I think we can get just as far as we did last year, and maybe even further.
Every time we bring a South Range player on, we ask about Myrtle Beach and what that does for them and what that does for the team. This year, like every other year, you go down to Myrtle Beach, you play an awesome schedule, and you have a week of team bonding. What was this year in Myrtle Beach like for you guys, and what did you take away from that trip?
At the beginning of the year, you could definitely tell how much the team was divided. When we would do stretches, it would be like the freshmen and then everyone else. And then once we came back from Myrtle Beach, you could tell that everyone was like getting along and we were all like actually friends outside of softball as well.
On the softball side of thing, we said Myrtle Beach was when you really got to click at the bat. Was there anything about being at the beach and being away from this weather upstairs that really let you click on offense?
I think just being down there and seeing other pitchers and like not because I feel like when you're here, you know what the pitchers are going to throw you, so then you overthink it. And being down there, you don't know what they're going to throw. You don't know anything about them, and so it's just different.
Maybe some of the best teams that are on your schedule popped up in Myrtle Beach. What did that experience teach you guys coming back about what you were going to face back up here in the area?
Well, we saw a very good pitcher down there, and I think that helped us for when we came back and played Poland because Katie's a very good pitcher, and I think we were very prepared for her pitching.
You talk about Poland and the NE8. This year, you guys are able to go undefeated. Last year, Lakeview got you a couple years ago. You split with Poland. So this is the first year with you that you've been able to go undefeated in the entire NE8. What was that like to sweep the conference this year and take care of everybody that you came across?
We definitely knew that we had the ability to do it, and Coach Droz really wanted us to be able to go undefeated, so we all just knew we had to step up in those NEA games.
It wasn't without adversity. Jefferson took you to extras. Poland came back and took the lead on you in game two. When you have moments like that in the league, when there's a little bit more pressure because obviously league standings are at stake, what's that like for you mentally to try to drive past those situations?
Honestly, I feel like the seniors do a good job at making sure everyone stays like tuned into the game and not getting worried about the score or anything. And they're very supportive, and because they've been through this before, so they do a very good job of like helping everyone.
You talk about these seniors. Last night was senior night for you guys. What was it like to obviously get them a win, but then celebrate their career and all they've done at South Range for your last home game of the regular season?
We were so excited. Me and the other junior, Gretchen Bartels, we spent the whole day decorating the dugout. We made a balloon arch and everything for them because we just wanted for them to have the best night.
Not your last home game overall, though. You guys are going to be hosting throughout districts if you make it that far. What's that like for you guys to be able to be a tournament host and have the opportunity to host your way through a district championship again?
I think it helps because we have like the home field advantage, and it's just nice being on our own home field.
The thing about softball is every stadium is a little bit unique, whether it be the dimensions or how much foul territory you have or whatever it may be. What is it about that South Range softball field that makes it feel like home to you and gives you that home field advantage in tournaments?
I honestly just think that like we hit off that field every day. We stand in the batter's box and do front toss, so like we know what the field looks like. We know like where everything is.
How much do you get to go up live against your pitching at South Range during practice?
Last year I feel like we did a lot. We have not done that much this year just because we didn't want to wear out Julie or Sam. And now with Sam being hurt, we haven't been doing it that much. But we'll do a lot of live bunting practice off of some of the JV pitchers just to like see the ball coming in.
All right, so when you did hit Julie last year, or when you get the small chance to, or Sam, how much does seeing your own pitchers help you on defense know, situational things, maybe in the outfield, how someone's gonna come off the bat, how the ball's gonna react off the bat, because you've seen her pitches from the batter's point of view.
No, I definitely think it helps a lot. And they're probably the one of like the two best pitchers in the NE8, so it definitely helps.
What's it like playing defense behind them? I mean, you get to watch them work. Sometimes Julie doesn't let you play a lot because strikeouts are a ton. What's it like playing defense behind a pitcher like that?
It's honestly relieving because I know that like if a ball gets hit into the outfield and I don't catch it or it's in the gap, she has the chance to maybe get the next two batters, strike them out so that runner doesn't score. And we can make mistakes out there, even though we should not because we should have her back.
You are a multiple sport athlete. We see you on the volleyball court, on the basketball court, in the softball field. Always busy. What's it like juggling all of that and school and a social life and all the things that come with high school?
It's honestly challenging to make sure I have time to do everything, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, obviously, that comes with big time management. You have to be good at it. Do you think you've developed time management skills as you've gone along, or have you always been a pretty organized person?
I think I've probably developed them as I've gone along, and I still don't think I really have the best time management because I still wait until the last day to do the homework and I stay up late after the games.
You were more of a leader in every sport you played this year. How much did your leadership in volleyball and basketball help you become a leader in softball?
I definitely think it helped a lot, but I also think that softball helped those other two sports more because as a freshman, I started and I had to step up in the outfield. And Coach Rose had talked to me about that. Like, even though you're a freshman, you have to um, be the leader in the outfield, playing center field.
Obviously, those sports are dramatically different, but what kind of things did you take away from each one to help you go into the next? Like, what do you take away from volleyball that helps you in basketball? What do you take away from basketball that helps you in the softball? And then, obviously, what do you take from softball that helps you in the other two?
I think all of them are different because I feel like each sport has different people playing it. So just playing with like different people at each sport helps.
Since you do play all three, I gotta ask, what's the best feeling in sports? Like, what's the best feeling that you get? Is it a a big hit, a big catch, maybe a big kill in volleyball, game winning shot in basketball? What's the best feeling that you have in sports? Do you think?
I would probably say either getting like a kill in volleyball or getting a super good hit in softball.
Maybe a big block in volleyball too.
Yes,
Those are pretty
100%.
fun, and I know you got a lot of those. Maddie, you get the chance to play softball in the summer as well as travel, and you do a lot of it. What does that do for you in your career and setting new goals, and obviously being able to play against and with a lot of talented players in the summer?
I think it helps. And then also this year I'm playing with Kelly and Sam. So I think that'll be super fun. And also, just I feel like the competition is very good in the summer because all the best players come onto the best teams, and we see those teams.
Now, with how much you play, you sacrifice a lot of your summer vacation.
Yeah.
What gives you that drive to keep doing that and make those sacrifices and say, "Hey, this is worth it. This is what I want to do."
I think just knowing like the state championship honestly helped. That was like the game changer in softball for me, knowing that like I went there and like we could go there in the previous year. So I think playing travel honestly is just a way for me to get better, and then it gets me better for the high school year.
Junior year is where you start to think about your future. It's where you start to think about colleges, where you might want to go. You start applying for things as you go into your senior year. What's it been like trying to navigate those thoughts in your mind about what future might hold? Maybe if you want to play college softball, where you might want to go, and that kind of stuff.
Honestly, I'm completely undecided over everything. I don't know if I want to play. I'm honestly just confused with all of it right now.
Do you have any idea like career path you might want to go into or what you might want to learn
Um,
in college?
I want to be a physician's assistant, I think. So that I have that decided at least.
Well, there you go. You got one down.
Yeah.
I'll ask you another one. Like, do you know if you want to travel away from home or if you want to stay closer or where geographically you'd be looking for a college?
I think I want to stay close to home, but if I do go far away, I'd like to go super far away, somewhere down south.
All right, super far away. Where's like the dream state? If you could live anywhere for college, money wasn't an issue. All the other stuff that goes into college wasn't an issue, and you could just go anywhere you wanted. Where would you want to go?
I think down in Florida.
Why Florida? Is it Florida? There's a lot of southern states. What is it about Florida that attracts you?
Just the warm weather, and then I love being around the ocean, and I also have family members down there. So if I would go down there to play, or just even go to college down there, I'd try to go to a school near them, so then I could go to their house if I needed to, just to see family.
So it's almost the end of the school year, which means you're trying to grind through the end of the academic year, but it's also the most exciting part of the softball season. What's it like for you to try to stay focused in school when it's almost over and you're getting that end of the year, motivation skills, but you're also so excited about the end of softball season and the tournament run?
I think softball helps us stay motivated in school because as like right now we're at like the final end of school, so we don't have much going on, but then we have softball to look forward after school.
I'm sure with the deep tournament run, sometimes softball, if you go far enough, will clash with final exams and getting ready for that.
Mhm.
What's that been like to try to get ready for finals while you're also trying to prepare for really intense and high anxiety softball games?
The coaches always preach that school comes first, so we know that we have to study and get that done, but then still be going to practice and getting ready for those games.
What classes this year, this junior season, have given you the most trouble and made you work the hardest in the classroom?
I took a government class this semester, and that's been pretty hard for me.
Which one is the opposite end of the spectrum? The one that maybe I don't want to say you don't have to work yet, but the one that comes a little bit easier to you.
I'm taking pre-calc, and it's also the JV coach, so she kind of helps me out, and she understands if like I don't have like everything done when I come to class.
We probably asked you this last year, but we can't go at a South Range softball player without talking about Coach DeRose and Coach Farron and this coaching staff and what they've been like to you, how they've helped you grow, how they've helped you get through that slump that you said that you started the season with, and some of the things that maybe you've learned from them this year that you didn't learn from them in the first 2 years.
Well, eighth grade, I actually played on Coach Farron's travel team, so I got to know him and know his coaching style. So coming into high school, that already helped, and he already knew what I was good at, what I struggled with, so that really helped.
How would you describe Coach Farron's coaching style to someone that never saw him coach?
I think he can be really hard on you, and like you just have to understand that if he yells at you and if he just shakes his head and walks away, you just have to know that like he's not mad at you. He just knows you can do better.
How would you compare him to Coach DeRose? Where are they the same in their coaching style? Where are they differ?
I personally think Coach DeRose has probably yelled at me more, but I think you can tell when Mr. Farron's more mad. Coach DeRose yells, Farron just gives like looks almost.
What's his one surefire way to get Coach DeRose to yell? Like, what is the one thing that is his like pet peeve that if someone on the team does, or if you do, you know you're gonna hear it when you get back in the dugout?
I say when playing a game, probably like if I don't catch a ball or if I strike out looking. But his biggest pet peeve is if you pick the ball up with your glove. And if anyone does it at practice or at a game, we have to run.
So don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I do want to ask you about your family as well. Obviously, you have a younger sister, and now she's in the high school, and you're able to kind of deal with her. And then your dad is always a big supporter of you in your softball career. What does your family mean to you, and how much have they helped you throughout your career?
No, they are definitely so important to me. My dad's been my coach probably forever, and he's actually coaching me this travel ball season too. And if I think this will probably be my last travel ball season, so it's exciting for him to be my coach again.
What's it like to have your dad as a coach? You know, we talk to so many softball players. That dad coach relationship seems like it's so common in softball. What's it like for you to be able to be coached by him?
When we were younger and he would coach, we would not get along at all. We'd scream at each other. But now that I think I'm older and I'm like more mature, and he also knows like how I'm gonna react, he doesn't necessarily like yell at me. He'll wait till like after the game to be like, "Hey, I think you should have done this, or you could have done that better."
Does that put a lot of pressure on your mom to kind of be the buffer between you
Yeah.
two?
Yes. Uh-huh.
What are some things that take you away from that coach relationship? Maybe that your dad does that like it separates dad and coach that makes sure that that relationship doesn't blend and you guys aren't arguing about stuff and things like that.
I think that we've started getting along more better, and he wasn't he mainly coached my sister, so I feel like our relationship never like really was just about softball.
All right, Maddie, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to give anyone else that is supporting you and anyone else that you want to give a shout out to your time to do it and thank the people that are there for you.
I just want to give a shout out to my family, also my coaches, and then all my teammates.
All right, Maddie, thank you so much for joining us today. We wish you the best of luck in your tournament run. We can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for having me.